Hello and welcome to Makemusicfree, and today we're going to be looking at the three oscillators and basically introduce you to making sounds for the first time. Now we're using a pretty easy synth, very basic, probably the most basic sort of synthesizer there is on FL Studio. It's called three oscillators, but if you're using a different program, I'm sure there's other ones that are kind of similar. So if you right click and go on insert and then insert it, then they'll get a three oscillator thing up like this, okay? And the preset sound is, you can see here, there's all these different shapes. So essentially what three oscillators are is three different sound producing engines. And the sound waves themselves are basically the shape, and you get a different tone. And then what this does is this layers all the sounds on top of each other. So if we listen to the basic sound that comes out, this is a basic saw wave. You can listen to it, and it sounds a bit like an organ. So that, like, just off the shelf, you can get quite a cool sound, you know. And you can do lots of cool things. I want to actually focus on this sound because that way you don't have to do anything. I just want to show you what you can do with that and why, like, actually having a little play with this stuff is quite valuable. So what I'm going to do here, just to make it a bit more interesting, I'm just going to pan this one this way, this one this way, just a little bit, just 60%, so it gives you a bit of a wider thing. And then I'm going to pull this down to -12 semitones. Now the reason that there's -12 is because octave has 12 whole notes in it, so that means that it's going to be a layered sound, and there's not going to be any sort of melodic clashes in terms of like music and stuff. Anyway, sorry, what I just did is right click and go onto piano roll. So right now I'm just going to put in a little melody that I used on a previous video, but it's very nice melody, and it makes things a bit easier for us, just so you can hear what sort of stuff you can make. And I'm just going to change the BPM as well, which is this thing here, so how quickly the song, why has it gone to 520? How quickly the song is played. That's being gay. So we'll put it on 160 anyway, if you can right click that way. So we'll have a little listen. So it sounds like quite organy, so it's kind of an organ sound, and off the shelf it sounds really nice. You know, it's nice sort of head bopping music anyway. So yeah, what we'll do is we'll bring that down an octave anyway, just to see what it sounds like as more of like a bassy thing. So I would call this your sort of basic organ sound that you can create. So yeah, that's essentially it. I mean, there's not much else you really need to do to it. You can have a play with this and the chorus and bringing stuff down. But really, this thing, the fine, just changes the note again. It's literally really simple. There's not really much you can do on it apart from pick the shapes. So say we changed just one of them. Get more of like a Mario sound, okay, because you've got this triangle sound coming in, and this one is a square sound because the shape is more like a square, so this is even more Mario. Just one oscillator, that's all I'm changing each time, so you can actually have different combination. So that's if I pulled it down another octave. And what's annoying about this is there's not much else you can do with it. It's a very raw sound, and a lot of sort of drum and bass music and house music, which is what we probably use this in, that isn't enough. We want to do more with the sound, so actually it's okay, but it's interesting for you to understand how some synthesizers work. Now this is what we call an additive synth, I forgot to tell you that, because it adds all of the three oscillators together, which is actually what Massive is, and quite a lot of synthesizers. They usually just have different oscillators running, and then they kind of stick them all together, and it makes it a nice sound. So that's basically what that does. What I recommend doing, I recommend having a little play with the FX on it as well. So if you put that on just like FX channel 1, and bring up your mixer, when I play sound, you can see how it comes through on the mixer. So that's quite good. So just quickly, just for a bit of fun, I'll put on the reverb on it, and I'll go back to the organ sound. It can sound really nice. So if you guys have never heard of that before or seen that, and that was all quite fast, all I've done is used this original sound, and I've sent it to this mixer channel here, this fader, and then on that channel I've put in a reverb effect. So the way you do that is you see this little arrow here, you click on it, and you go down and you just go down to the reverb. Now the fruity one itself is actually not that bad. I use it quite a lot because it's quite a bog standard one, but it's got some cool features, like you can do lots of cool stuff. So I recommend having a little play with that while you're actually playing with this stuff. So that's an organ sound we can make. So the next video we're going to make a bass line with this synth. So make sure you check it out and keep watching, keep making music.